All right, and we are back with another episode of Surviving with Celia. This is episode 13.
Woo!
I've got my co-host Eric Biggs over here, and then we have our guy JP Boo behind the cameras.
Right, baby.
And then today's guest I absolutely adore. I met him back in Arizona. This is my boy Jon Carden.
Woo! Thank you for having me. Yeah, we met a long time ago.
Long ago.
You were doing the open mic for Big Pine Comedy Festival when I was producing it. And that had to be 2017? 2016 maybe?
Yeah, 2017.
Jesus.
So that's like 7 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Because I've been doing this shit for 8 years.
I know, I wear shirts to open mics that I've had longer than most people have been doing comedy. I've got All Things Comedy shirt from 2017. I wear it all the time. And it's just 'cause it's comfy.
That's the year I graduated high school. Jesus fucking Christ.
I dated a girl where I was talking about like when I did comedy, and she was like, "Oh, I was in middle school."
Oh, damn.
And I'm like, man, this would be fucked up if I was in high school. If I wasn't in high school, you know? It'd be fucked up.
12-year-olds weren't so hot. This wouldn't be cool.
Well, she wasn't 12 when I met her.
Yeah.
Let's get that clear.
Later in life.
I'm not fucking.
It's later in life.
I'm not Woody Allen.
He's in the Jane Austen part where it's still okay. Oh my god. Oh shit. And that's something else I love about you. Like, it blew my mind. He likes to read.
Oh yeah, I read.
And that got me so excited because Arizona, we're not readers or education in general.
No,
we're
Arizona's
not
drinkers, dude.
Yeah.
They're drinkers and they're disobeyers. That's Arizona. Dude, Arizona during COVID was probably the most fun I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
It was just a bunch of
we
people.
We just found ways to
it was just, no, it was a bunch of people just literally flipping off the federal government in unison.
Yeah.
It was liberals and Republicans alike just standing out there and be like, yeah, we're not doing this.
Yeah.
We had numbers higher than Italy at one point. And Arizona was like, we live, we die, we live again. We don't give a fuck.
Dude, I got an essential job at Circle K because I wanted to die. I talked about this on the last episode about like, yeah, it's like I'm the only one out here really trying. And then you remember David Case?
Do I remember Cakes?
I
yes,
know.
Of course.
David Cakes. I want him on this podcast so bad.
You talk about a dude that's been through some shit.
Right.
That man's got some stories.
Yeah. He's my best friend in the whole world. Also a gentle lover. But
Jesus Christ.
See, I could have lived my entire life without knowing that. Yeah. I could have lived.
Picturing it now,
aren't you? Yep, that's Tempur-Pedic love. Yeah. That is love with a sleep number right there, and it is 60-fucking-9. Jesus Christ, you and Cakes? Oh.
Yeah. 3 times.
3 times.
Once a mistake, twice it happens.
I know it wasn't in one night. I know you two. I know
you'd be surprised. I actually have a lot of energy in the bedroom, and I'm a people pleaser. Dude, I blew somebody off my birthday.
I could have lived not knowing that too. Is that what this podcast is going to be? That should have been things that Jon could have lived his entire life without fucking knowing.
That should be the real name of this podcast. I could have lived without knowing that.
I can lift up a fork with my butt. Just kidding, nothing, not really.
That's half of these. I'm like, I have more trauma now, I think.
Next thing she's gonna do, she's gonna tell me about my best friend and the mole on his ass.
So, you know about the mole then.
Yeah. The mole was a gentle lover.
No, but no, he was mad. Like, me and him were both mad because, like, I got my essential job and whatever. And I'm like, I was the only one out there trying to die, but all these, like, fake suicide people. Like, I know that's mean and wrong to say, but there's people who just say it for attention. Some
Pussies. People. Kill yourself. Be a man.
My friend Mike Meese comes to mind. Did that really just fucking happen?
How unprofessional.
I know.
It's like it's our podcast or something. She thinks you do anything.
You gotta survive Celia's cell phone calls.
It was an alarm because I fucked up, and that was supposed to be a 9 a.m. alarm for work. But I'm
I'd say you fucked up.
Yeah.
Hey guys, sorry, I'm 12 hours late.
Yeah.
Can I still work a double?
No, well, I love my job, but I'm mad because I missed a couple days this week because I've just been like, we'll say tummy issues.
Tummy issues. You had diarrhea.
Yeah. I've been pissing
the
shit.
liquid shits,
Yeah. And like just when you think it's over, went through so much toilet paper. So much.
So nice we're drinking light beer to help out with that. Okay.
I got Imodium now. It's fun.
I've got a buddy that was binge drinking heavy one night, and he went down to the basement, and he took this girl with him, and we'd been drinking for like 3 days, and it's up in Washington, and he goes down to the basement, and I guess he hadn't eaten in 3 days either. He'd been nothing but drinking.
Oh, damn.
So he went down there, and he said he had a fart bubble up, and she was sucking his dick on a stool.
Oh, no.
And
you never trust a fart.
And he let one out, and it was not a fart. It was a golden stream of shit, and it hit her dead in the chest. I mean, dead in the chest. She ran up those basement steps, man, like a scalded dog. It was crazy. I remember the look on her face. It was both terror and intrigue. Because there was a moment there where she was like, "Do I like this?" You know what I mean? It was that explorative moment, because you're only gonna get shit on your chest once if you don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a repeat offense.
Twice if you're adventurous, though.
So, yeah, if you're an idiot. Yeah, if you can't figure it out the first time, then maybe you try it again. But I think that's one thing. That's one stop, one no. I figured it out on the first go on that one.
Yeah, no, that should be. Wait, did that happen to you too?
No. I'm saying if it did, I would have no questions about number 2. It's either I like it or not.
Yeah.
I feel like that's not something I need to unlock about myself.
She came upstairs and she was looking for a towel like it was a bucket of water in a house fire. I mean, dude, she was going all over that fucking house, dude, looking for a towel. And apparently we were in the one house in all of Washington State that did not have an accessible towel. So
did it have a shower she could have hosed down with?
Me and 2 of the dudes upstairs, we get to that.
Okay.
Me and 2 of the dudes upstairs, she was drunk.
Okay.
We try to be chivalrous, and we throw our shirts to her. And like, here, wipe off with this. But then we realize those are our only shirts. So like mid-toss there, we're like, if this place ain't got towels, it definitely ain't got a spare shirt. So we're going to go to toss it, and then we grab it, and we're like, wait, hold on. We actually need these. And so she's standing there with shit on her chest and a whole lot of problems that we can't solve. And so we get her upstairs, we hose her off, and we go downstairs, and my buddy is still sitting there on the stool. Shit dripping off the stool, everywhere all over the floor. He is still sitting there in complete shock. Complete shock that he had just shat on a girl's chest. Because there's 2 moments in his life. It is pre-shit chest and post-shit chest. That is a pivotal moment. That is a core memory. That is a purple ball and Inside Out. That's sticking around.
It's a purple ball. Oh my God.
It's not often somebody says something that bothers me.
That's horrifying.
Which makes me feel better because I feel like I've scarred you a couple times.
No, we're not even rounding first base.
All right. Fuck yeah. But John, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself? And like, I know we were both like kind of trailer park growing up.
Yeah, I wasn't by choice.
You didn't pick the wheels under the house.
No, I didn't pick it. You know,
What, you think I was in the fucking womb? It's like, hey mom, I know we live in the country club, but why not a trailer?
Yeah. Well, weren't you on a reservation for a little bit?
No. I am part Native American. I don't talk about that too much. Like, it doesn't make, when I explain it, it's Yaqui Native American.
Yeah.
Which is
well,
most of the
Flagstaff there are reses.
Yeah, but I'm mostly Mexican.
I know that, but I remember you staying on a res for a little bit for some reason.
I wasn't staying on a res. Like, Kachina isn't the res.
Okay.
But, like, that's a trailer park area, too.
Yeah.
Like, it's a mix between, because there's a whole bunch of, like, rich people behind, like, the, like, mobile homes and the single wides and the double wides and the campers. But I lived in a barn out in Kachina for a little while, and I also lived in a, what's it called? Como se dice? Regular, like, camper RV.
Yeah.
But,
you're the one person that whenever I think I've had it bad, I listen to you for a little bit, and I'm like, you know what? Those cigarettes they went out pretty quick on my skin. It wasn't anything crazy. You know what I mean? Like, I had some horrible shit happen to me.
Actually, I used to burn myself with cigarettes.
Yeah, well, I had a stepdad do that for me. But yours is, I always say shit, and I'm like, the story about this is when, do you remember Thomas Zorio?
Yes, unfortunately.
Okay. This is inside baseball. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but we got to do this.
Okay.
So my kids, when I divorced my ex-wife in Phoenix, my ex-wife went back to Waco, and she left. And she left like right before Christmas time. So it's like maybe like October, November she left, and all 3 kids, they go back to Texas, and I'm stuck in Phoenix, in a house I can't afford, and just kind of sad out of my fucking mind. First Christmas I've ever been without my kids. Aww. And I call Rob Maybe and Eric Subcheck. And I'm like, hey, y'all just want to have like a whiskey Christmas? Everybody brings a whiskey bottle, and we just get drunk and fucking,
Why was it I invited to this shit? Just
and have a good time. And they were like, yeah. So they came over. I had to buy Rob's bottle of whiskey.
That sounds like Rob.
And give Rob the ride to the place, which was my house.
And he stayed the night.
Yeah.
Of
course he stayed the night.
Me and Rob are degenerate motherfuckers.
If Rob's coming over, he's crashing.
Yeah.
That's just kind of the rule.
And everybody knows that.
So we're over there, man. We're drinking. I'm sad about my kids, and everybody's making me feel better, and everything's good. And Rob pops up from the couch, and he goes, Zorio's coming over. And I didn't love Thomas Zorio. I didn't love him. Like, he wasn't my favorite person on the planet. He's an okay guy. But then he comes in on my whiskey Christmas, okay? Mm-hmm. My sad fucking Christmas. This motherfucker walks in the door. And Rob's like, how you doing, Thomas? And he's like, I'm not good. And we're like, why? He goes, my dad just died, and I just found him like 20 minutes ago.
Holy fuck.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sitting there like, you motherfucker. You gonna come to my fucking pity party. You're gonna come to my house of sadness, and you're gonna one-up me? I'm sad because I'm not around my children for the first time in their lives, and you're never gonna see your dad again, and that's fucking worse. And not only did you never go see him again, you fucking found him. So you've got the trauma of all that, and then you bring that here? I was so mad. I was so mad. And also at the same time, I'm a good dude. So I can't be like irate with him. He just lost his dad. So I have to hug him and like comfort him while I'm sad about my own shit.
John, I gotta tell you something. I fuck Zorio too.
Were you holding that in this whole time?
For the last 30 seconds. For the last 30 seconds, yes.
This is why we have to put guests in the middle so they don't leave.
I'm trapped.
Oh my god.
Is your body count just a Phoenix open mic list?
Oh, honey, it's a Kill Tony list at this point.
Jesus
I
Christ.
say you think it ends in Phoenix? Come on.
No, like, I've gotten better about fucking open micers, but if, like, ladies, if you're gonna fuck a comic, fuck somebody who doesn't book anything so they can't say that you fucked your way to the top. You gotta fuck people beneath you. That way it's all like, oh yeah, she only did this because she fucked so-and-so. It's all like, oh, the guy who drinks too much before his set at the open mic and just screams like borderline neo-Nazi shit. It's like, that's the guy who would advance your career. I'm just saying, it makes sense.
Yeah, don't bite the hand that fucks you. I get it.
Yeah. Also, Celia, stop fucking these guys. Let them shoot people and fucking get
No,
ended.
I care about our country and our school systems more than most.
Celia's
Where's
like,
my fucking Medal of Valor? I've
Celia's
saved
never
more
like, hey,
schools.
you know that guy that shot the United Healthcare CEO? Fucked him. Me and Luigi banged in the back of a van.
Just sitting there
He was
ready.
on
It's like,
an
it's fucked up
exploratory
to not
trip.
think about your neck, huh? Just kidding.
Oh my god.
But,
Oh man. So who else?
oh, it's a long list.
I'm
honey.
scared to ask at this point. This is what the podcast is going to end up being.
Yeah.
It's just me slowly unraveling at the people that I know that Celia is in intercourse with. Okay.
It was funny the last, like, so I had like a lot of go away parties when I was moving here to Austin.
You did. I did one. Okay, I did one go away party,
Well, I had the one, and then everybody's like, "Oh, I missed it," and then like all the open mics just turned. Yeah, it turned into a tour. I didn't mean for that shit to happen.
I saw that shit on fucking social media, man. I'm like, yo, the second I see Celia, I'm gonna give her shit about this. And I got high and forgot. But
it was just supposed to be the one.
No, you did a going away tour. Your ass was in Prescott Valley, fucking. You were in Maricopa. I'm like, who are you saying bye to in Maricopa?
No, Maricopa I was getting picked up from, like, that's where the Amtrak is. I took the Amtrak to Austin.
Oh, okay. You took a train to Austin?
Yeah, and I got a sleeper cart because it's a 30, like, because, like, I wanted to dread the thing, and, like, I hate airports with a passion, and now I fly a lot, and it's pissing me off. But, yeah, no, but one of them, I'd never been to a strip club, so I asked David Kays. It's all like, hey, Kays, will you go to a strip club with me? And he's like, I don't have strip club money. And I'm like, well, I've got my grandma's inheritance, so I do. It's like, I'll pay for you. But I'm like, I say that, and who's right next to him? Ray fucking Earl. And Ray, it's like, I could look at some pussy. And I just looked at him, and I'm like, these are who I want to go to the strip club with. Ray Earl, who is a big, like, gay black man.
Taking a gay man to the strip club is like taking a vegan to Terry Black's.
He said he wanted to go look at pussy, and I'm all like, who am I to deny this man?
Yeah, but he's not going to appreciate it the same way we will.
That's true. Oh, there's more to that story. But, like, it was
she
like...
fucked both of them?
No, I did not fuck Ray Earl. But, so it's those two, and, like, Aldo Campagna, you know, he was, like, he had just turned 19 or something. And I'm like, you know what? This little boy's only seen one vagina. We're going to invite him. And then, like, all the other comics found out. So, like, just 16 comics rolled up to the strip club at the end of, like, the Wayward open mic. And, like, this is when I was still friends with her, Kate Burrell. I specifically did not invite her because I knew she would not enjoy it or have a good time, or she'd do weird, creepy shit. And sure enough, she's standing in the corner of the strip club of Alaska Bush Company, just mean mugging everybody with a better body than her, including the men. And, like, it's because she's like, where are you guys going? It's like Alaskan Bush Company. And she's like, okay, I'm going to head over. I'm like, are you sure?
If that's the case, she would have to mean mug the Pillsbury Doughboy.
Yeah. Oh my God, that bitch pissed me off.
Yeah, the first night, I know it's inside, I don't know how inside you want to get, Celia, but we can do it. First night I met that chick, dude, she fucking lost her shit at remember Matt Micheletti's show, Firehouse in Phoenix?
Okay.
The outside one at the fucking art gallery that smelled like fucking formaldehyde and homeless people?
Yes, but, like, I never actually went to that one. Like, I walked by it, but,
That's crazy, is that the crazy thing about comedy is that happened 7 years ago. Like, this thing that I'm bringing up right now, it literally happened 7 fucking years ago. And I could give a fuck less about it. But I have seen this person maybe 5 to 7 times since then. And that's comedy. Yeah. And that's why you can fuck up at one open mic year one, and people are going to remember it fucking 12 years later.
Yeah.
It's insane. We are held to a standard that is way higher than politicians. Okay? More politicians have gotten DUIs this year than I would bet comedians. I would be willing to put money on it. I bet there's been more congressional DUIs than comedic DUIs.
Especially Arizona.
I bet there is. But we are held to a fucking higher standard especially internally.
Oh, yeah.
Than politicians hold themselves. And I think maybe politicians have it right. They piss on themselves in meetings. They smoke whatever the fuck they want. They do whatever the fuck they want. And all they have to do is just make a law. We have to make people laugh, and people care about what we do.
Yeah. I never thought about that.
There's a quote that went around, and it's so true. It's like people used to listen to politicians and laugh at comedians, but now people listen to comedians and laugh at politicians.
Yeah.
It's a solid point. Like, I always thought that, like, when I was younger, like, when people, like, the first specials of, like, every comic who gets their specials, like, hilarious. But, like, once they get to, like, 3, 4, 5, they just kind of turn into philosophers at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They're not really telling jokes.
Those that can't do teach.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Somebody told me I needed to teach a comedy class and I almost killed myself. I was like, that'll be the day.
I get it.
That is the most offensive thing you can say to somebody that's funny.
That'll be the day.
Is like, you should teach a class.
Dude.
No.
Because, I mean, I do, in their defense, I do get where they're coming from because I just talked about it. I was headlining a comedy festival. We had to do a panel. And I just talked about it. And, like, I was talking about, like, Stanislavski and fucking Chekhov and, you know, all these things about, like, stage placement and all these things I learned in acting that kind of helped me with comedy. And in that regard, yes, that could be a class. But I ain't fucking teaching it.
Yeah.
And also,
I would
you'd
actually
be a
teach a
dirtbag
writing
if you
class,
charged
yeah.
a bunch of open micers $250 to hear it. You know what I mean? Like,
You know,
But
but
it's
that's
not
the other
really the
thing. The
open
other thing, though,
micer.
is like, yeah, but if somebody, like in any other profession, okay, if somebody has done something for 10 years, they are considered in most fields a subject matter expert.
yes, yeah.
And that expertise, like there's people that put out fucking like workshop novels and like all these pamphlets and shit they charge for, and it's because that expertise, there's a price on it.
Yeah.
And
Year and a
I
half and
think
could
it's
sell out.
I think it's true in comedy as well. I think there's a price on that expertise. But the problem is that there's 5,000 podcasts now.
Yeah.
And every person has a different perspective on that expertise. So you're getting this fucking watered, not even watered down. You're getting a conglomeration of concentrate, of just all these factoids about how to be good at comedy. When really everybody is kind of the same. Where they're like, how'd you make it? They're like, the winning lottery numbers were fucking 14, 17, 19, 23, 54.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's catching lightning in a fucking bottle. And yes, there is a certain amount of work you can put in to elevate yourself. I use examples, Trevor Wallace and Matt Rife.
Yeah.
Two young guys that worked their fucking ass off.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
doing their thing, putting out their fucking product. You can do it. But also, I'm fucking ranting.
That's fair. No, I would actually teach a writing class, but like I do it for free for open micers. But like just it's like there's this and just like basic shit. It's like move the microphone away from you. Just like little things.
Well, it just depends on how you learn. I think there's people like Longfellow took Tony Visich's class. And
Did
it
he?
did wonders for him. Yeah, I mean,
Fuck yeah.
Mary Upchurch, Jonathan Gregory, all those guys had all those people had decent careers. And, you know, they took a class. They took a comedy class. So
Like I wouldn't be opposed to doing one. I just don't have the money for it.
Oh, I don't either. And, I mean, there's two ways to learn. It's on the job or in a classroom, and it just depends on
Yeah,
you know how you
what are
fucking
you
learn.
better at, yeah.
Yeah, what are you better at? For me, being in a bar in front of drunks was the best way for me to learn because that felt like home.
Yeah.
That's how I was funny growing up. I was funny in front of a bunch of drunk people.
Yeah.
So yeah, and like I'm glad you said that because I always feel like because people will be like, Celia, why aren't you like getting at the clubs? Why aren't you schmoozing the clubs? I'm like one of my biggest comedy heroes was Doug Stanhope.
Love stand-up.
Yeah, but like I don't feel comfortable in clubs or fancy places. Like I need to be in a shitty dive bar with like one wobbly table and a broken stall door in the bathroom, or like they have a missing toilet seat in one of them, or like. But that's where I'm comfortable. Like those are the people who like love and like I don't do great at House of Comedy. Like it's a beautiful venue. I love it, but I make the people like the regulars who normally go to House of Comedy uncomfortable.
I think for me, I was uncomfortable when I first started doing that club too. And I went from begging for an open mic spot to headlining that club, doing full weekends there.
Yeah, you fucking did.
And I don't, you know, I think I went through a lot to stay at that club. You know, when the other clubs opened and people were blackballed and shit went down, I did a lot to stay at House of Comedy just because of the benefit that it gave me. And that was that Phoenix is this weird little audience, it's such a honey hole for comedy because you've got this weird little audience that's national. Everybody has moved from somewhere else, the transplant state.
Yeah.
Nobody's from Phoenix. There's maybe like 20 or 30 people I met while in Phoenix that was fucking from there.
Yeah.
Everybody moves there. And so you get all these different perspectives from all these different people in all these different places. And a lot of those people like going to fucking comedy clubs. And you're not working one group of people. You're working pretty much like a national audience at once. You're working Milwaukee, Oklahoma, you're working Washington, Rhode Island, all these people from all these different places. And so you get a good sample of what works everywhere.
Yeah.
And I think that was the thing that made me like House of Comedy Because, I mean, I'm not going to say it was the A club in the city. It wasn't. You know, Stand Up Live and Tempe Improv were the A clubs. You got a 500-seater and a 400-seater.
Yeah, no, I still love House of Comedy, and I do love that they'll let the comics come in and watch for free on the sides for shows if it's not sold out.
Always.
But
Even
the other
if it's
problem
sold out,
is,
they'll let you find a space.
yeah, like if you recall, I was homeless on and off again.
Yeah.
During my tenure in Phoenix, but I had to take the bus, and where I was normally staying, like, so in that area, like, I can't sleep at a bus stop in that area because I will get chased out.
Yeah.
But I can sleep in a bus stop. Like, I normally never slept at the bus stops, so I'd, like, find an alley or, like, I'd always find, like, a little bush or something to hide behind because I'm just, like, catnip for the other homeless people, too. And they come, it's like, can I sleep with you? And I'm like, no, fuck off. But, yeah, no, it was a 2.5-hour bus ride to get to House of Comedy with, like, 3 transfers from wherever I was going from. So if I got there, I'd either have to stay awake until the bus came at like 6, 7 in the morning, then head back. So I didn't go to House of Comedy that much for that reason too.
Yeah, I get it. It was way up north up there. It was a good club to learn how to do comedy at, for sure. I definitely, like, I grew an hour in that club. Just the host it's Canadian style, so the host does 25 minutes. And I got into that hosting rotation where I was there every 6 weeks. And so you're hosting for 25 minutes and it's a different muscle. It's a different thing. And it
really is.
It prepares you to headline, I think, more than anything I've ever done. Hosting for 25 minutes. Because it teaches you everything you didn't know you need to know. It teaches you how to recover a cold room, you know, how to deal with a bomb, just like all these different things. How to get people going, how to keep them going, how to, like, change the energy from announcements to jokes. Yeah. You know, it's all these different things that you didn't know that you need to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I loved that club, man. They've been great to me. They've headlined me all over the country, even Canada. I've headlined in Canada, the House of Comedies.
Yeah, that's amazing, dude.
So yeah, that club was great.
Nice. And yeah, no. I'm just like, I'm weird. I don't feel welcome in clubs still.
Is that where you started at, was in Arizona?
Yeah, I started doing Bobby Johnson shows.
I did Bobby Johnson too. Me and him had a fallout.
Everybody does.
I know. But like he'd have me go, but he'd just like be on me. It's like, you need to bring people. And I'm like, all my friends are comics. I'm not going to ask comics to pay and see me do the same material I've done 20 times this fucking week. Because I was hitting like all the mics, like, and some of them are no longer with us, like Catalina's, again, High Side, which Allison Wojtovich has been, was the second person on this podcast, but we talk about the night.
Talk about that night?
Yeah.
She never tells the story right. It always makes me mad. Every time I hear Allison tell it.
Yeah.
Because I was there that whole night, and I was running that show. I'm the one that booked her for that show. I was there that night.
And I was stoked because you had me host, and I was so honored. I'm like, Jon Carden's letting me host.
Yeah.
Now I want to hear you
I want to hear your set.
All right,
or your version.
For you to understand High Side, you have to understand Sunny Slope. Yeah. And we know what Sunny Slope is, but the people that are going to watch this, they have no idea what Sunny Slope, Arizona is. It's this area right up Midtown, above downtown in Phoenix. And it's kind of like a shadowy place where you don't go. You know, it's like the Elephant Graveyard in The Lion King.
Yeah.
Like one time we had to chase a dude down because he was running with a dog that had a pole stuck up his ass.
Jesus fucking Christ.
The shit that happened in Sunny Slope.
I hear that one.
The shit that happened in Sunny Slope. I mean, we had, like, on the last night of that last night of High Side, 2 people got their windows completely smashed in the parking lot. We would have homeless people fight people in the parking lot all the time. It was a rough place. Yeah. And so you have to understand that. But right outside of High Side, there was a tire shop, like on the other side of the street. There was a tire shop, and it was owned by this short little Mexican dude that looked like he should be saying, "Z plane, boss, Z plane." And so Allison does the show, and I bring her up. You know, everything was fine. You know, she got brought up normal. And
wait, you brought her up
on the first show. So I did my show, my Friday 5 or whatever it was.
Okay, now I got you. Because afterwards, that's when the Pat Price shit happened.
The Pat Price shit happened after my show. So after my show, there was an open mic called Funny Money, And it was an open mic where everybody put like a couple dollars in the bucket, and they picked the best open micer at the end of the night.
Yeah.
And on this night, particular night, I wasn't going to stay. I had done my show, made my $100, right, for hosting.
Yeah.
I was going to leave. And then this short little Mexican walks in. And Dave Mendelsohn is at the counter. And this dude walks in and he goes, "Hey!" And he takes a fat stack of cash. And he throws it in the bucket. And the second I see that, I go put my name on the list.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, let's do funny money tonight. And so they count it out. And it gets up to where in the bucket, there's $425 and a cold cheeseburger.
I forgot about the cheeseburger.
Dave Mendelsohn put a cheeseburger.
It was Burger King, right?
Burger King. Because there's one across the street.
Yeah.
So he put a cheeseburger in the bucket. So there's $400 in a cheeseburger in this bucket. And I go up, have a good set. And then Pat Price brings Allison up. And he goes, "I don't even know what to say about this girl other than, damn, and if I say anything, I'm going to get canceled. Y'all give it up for Allison." And she comes up and Allison's like, "Yeah, that's pretty sexist and kind of fucking stupid." And so the mic proceeds. And this little Mexican dude's causing problems. He's bickering and he's chirping and it's getting wild. And then Ramon Gamma gets on stage. And Ramon Gamma says some shit in Spanish. And I don't know what it did.
Yeah.
But it was like saying like cucumber, October, winter, fall to the Winter Soldier. It activated this little man. Like, I don't know what he said in Spanish. It was like, "Vaya con Dios." And then he just stood up, like with a little pocket knife and charged the stage. And
I don't know if you remember, I kind of ran interference on that.
I do remember that. You stood up there and there was a whole lot of people up there. Because Ramon Gamma's not a small man.
He is not.
And the other little dude, like...
I've had sex with him too.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
Mama, like,
How?
he has an engineering degree. We made it work.
Did you get the fulcrum and the pivot right with the pulley system?
I'm oddly flexible. Sorry, back to this.
Other things I did not need to fucking know.
I forgot to tell you, man. The last 5 minutes, y'all gotta have sex.
That's the part you got to survive.
Tag in. You tagged in. Tagged in, no tag backs.
Hey,
No
man,
tag
it's
backs,
gonna have to be
I'm getting
jokey.
JP.
No, next thing you're gonna say is, "No, actually, we've hooked up many times."
No, I haven't fucked either of these guys.
Well,
I love my wife.
I guess congratulations, boys. I don't
I'm
know
just
what
waiting
to
for
say.
his wife to fuck up. And
Jesus.
he'll get sad enough eventually.
It's like she has a hit list, dude. So she's like, "I'll wear him down eventually."
Yeah. Dude, sexually harassing Rob Baby is one of my favorite things in the
They
whole
always
world.
come around.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I remember him charging the stage and you being there, and you're like you're trying to block him, but he's disappearing in the mass of people.
Yeah.
So there's just little angry Mexican in there, and he's like, you know, because he's like sandwiched between two big people, and and so we ended up getting him out, and we kick him out, and then he wants to come back in and take the money out of the bucket.
Yeah.
Fuck that, dude. We're like, nah, I defended that bucket with my life. I was like, dude, you're not getting in that fucking bucket. So we kick him out. He gets gone. Bucket's still at $400. Blind dude.
Well, Allison also threw her 200 in there because remember he tried to give her 200.
That's right.
Yeah.
I forgot about that part. Yeah, he tried to give Allison money after she got off. And Allison was like, "Fuck you, dude," and threw it in the fucking bucket. That was hero shit. I forgot about that.
Yeah, no, because she said, "I'm not a stripper, I'm not a hooker," and she threw it in the money.
That was right. That was
And
her empowering moment. I forgot about that. That was
and
really
she told
important.
me, you told her, it's like, "You're an idiot. You should have taken the money."
I did. I
Yeah.
did say that. And I'll tell you what I did to rectify that at the end. So, T.P. Lucas, a blind black comic. I'm not making this up.
I forgot about that fool.
Yep. He goes up and he's just fucking murdering. He's like, "Man, I ain't got to look for pussy." He goes, "I can smell for it." He goes, one time I fucked a cat on accident. I mean, everything he said, it was just murdering, man. And so it came down, they voted everybody off, and it came down to me and him. And I looked at him, and he looked across the room, and I was like, hey, dude, do you want to split it? And he goes, yeah. So we just called it a draw, and we split the $400. And I remember I'm counting it out on the fucking table, and he pulls out, I didn't even know this was a thing. He pulls out an app on his phone and starts scanning the money so that he knows that I'm not shorting him. And it's like
What?
20, 20, 20, 10, 10, 20. It did that. And I'm
That's
like,
insane.
that's crazy. You thought I was going to fucking rob you.
Yeah, also,
After
And
you
I'm like,
offered the money.
I'll be honest, bro. If you hadn't pulled out that app, I was probably going to fucking rob you, dude.
you're like you had $35 in one.
Yeah, I was about to hand you 21, dude.
Dude,
So Allison's next to me, and I'm like counting the money out, and I'm like, do it to me. And then I looked at Allison, I'm like, and I threw her like $60. And then I escorted her out. She left, and then I go back in the bar. And back in the bar, like I'm there for maybe 5 minutes. And then all of a sudden the door flies open, and this Mexican dude, the little dude that owned the tire shop across the street, runs in, grabs the bucket, which is empty at this point, and runs out the door.
I missed that.
Yeah, I think you were gone. It was just me and Jay, the bartender. We were the
Okay.
only ones left. And I was
I love
fucking
Jay, but
wasted.
he was the world's worst bartender.
He was the worst bartender. I drank for free there so many nights.
Dude, between him and like Rollo, like buying me drinks, but like I'd ask him for a drink and then he'd disappear for 30 minutes. And like at a point, I'm like, yeah, I ordered 5 rum and cokes like 30 minutes ago. He's like, okay, I got that. And I'd only ordered 2, but I'm like, I'm just gonna get the 5 now. He's like, did you pay for it already? And I looked at him for a sec, and I'm like, yes, I did. But like that was
night. On the last night that bar was open, it was closing down. They turned it into a churro hut.
yeah.
I went behind the bar and I grabbed that bottle of Basil Hayden's, and I literally just hosted that entire show holding a bottle of whiskey.
Fuck yeah.
I went out. That last show was a bang, dude. We had so much fun on that last show. There was 150 people in there in that small
Nice.
room for that last show.
I don't think I was there.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
My favorite room in Phoenix, when it was hot, it was fucking Toso's. Toso's is what made me a comic.
That's fair. So what made me laugh about Tosos is like when I first moved down, like
Yeah.
I would do well at every open mic except Tosos. But
Yeah.
like only there's like 5
Well, I
comics
did-
who only went to Tosos.
Yeah.
And they didn't know I was crushing it like at the other mics, but then I'd be there and do a set, and then like Alex Harrison like came up to me, he's like, I think it's great that you keep trying. And I'm just sitting there, it's like, no, I'm actually I thank you.
Yeah, that place, man, it could make or break you as a comic. I used to do the weekend shows for Bobby Johnson. And Bobby Johnson, have y'all ever seen Janky Promoters with Ice Cube? Where he's just like a shitty promoter putting on shows and shit. That's kind of what Bobby Johnson was. It was
Okay.
the way his shows worked were if you sold 5 tickets, you made $25. They were
Yeah.
$10 tickets, and you got to keep 50% of all tickets you sold. So, you
Eric,
know,
what
for a
do you do?
10-minute spot,
That's honestly not bad in comedy. Like,
it's not bad.
you
but
know what I mean?
It's a bringer show. It is what it
Yeah.
is, but he's
Yes.
incentivizing it.
Yeah.
But he'd still have me go because he'd have all the ancient motherfuckers with their friends bring their friends.
But also, he got the bar,
yeah.
and
Oh shit! So he was making out then.
he was making. And so, I remember, do you remember a comic named George Lamone?
Yeah, Jorge.
Yeah. So, I did, I was doing Tosos, and it was literally the day my kids left. It was the day it happened. I had to go do a show. Like, I watched the U-Haul pull away, and then got in the car to drive
Jesus.
to a show. And when I was saying, like, times you probably shouldn't have been on stage,
Yeah.
I probably should have been on stage.
Dude, I went on stage the night my nephew killed himself.
Yeah, you got to do it sometimes,
Yeah.
right? And I go up, and I just wasn't experienced enough in comedy at the time to be able to compartmentalize that.
Yeah.
You know, I've compartmentalized a lot of stuff on stage since then, but that was one of those things where it was just fucking raw.
Yeah.
So I go on stage, and George Lamone's, I guess it ended up being his family. They start heckling me because I'm not getting a single fucking laugh. It was top 5 bombs. And he says something in the audience, and I'm like, dude, I hope somebody fucking you. And it started to spiral from there to the point where I started describing what I wanted the to look like. I described the penis in depth. I wanted at least 6 veins per inch ratio, okay? I wanted ribbed for his pleasure. I wanted that to be brutal and nasty, okay? I wanted it to be something they couldn't put on American History X. I described it, and nobody's laughing.
Yeah.
Nobody. But I'm talking about this dude wanting to get. And so I go to the back room after, eating a dick. And George comes up to me, and he goes, yeah, that was my dad. And I'm like, fuck, dude. I'm sorry. You know, I apologized, and then I saw him maybe, it had to be 2 weeks later. We still joke about this.
Yeah. 2
or 3 weeks later. I was like, hey, man, how's your dad? And he goes, he died. And I was like, oh, fuck. He goes, yeah, remember when you told him you wanted him to die? I was like, yeah.
Don't fuck with the king, dude.
Yeah. He's like, well, you were right. And I'm like, he's like, if it makes you feel any better when it comes to that heckle battle, he goes, you won. It's like, you won the war of longevity. And so now whenever I see George, he comes up to me and he's like, hey, man, you remember when you killed my dad? And I'm like, yeah, man. I remember when I killed your dad.
God, I hope you have that as a credit. Whenever people are... This man has murdered people with comedy.
Oh, shit. So that's the other thing. So, Zoria, we'd, joke, and I stayed with him for a while.
Don't describe what you guys did.
No, I won't. I can't describe his nuts, though, which were, interesting. But,
okay, tell me about him.
He was 4 veins
So
per
imagine
inch.
somebody cut a coconut in half.
Okay.
And just asphyxiated it, where...
a nut should be?
Yeah.
Was it furry like that? Like hair, stringy furry?
Yeah, it was hairy, it was stringy, it was short. It looked straight up like somebody put a coconut and then Woodstock from Snoopy on top of it.
Huh.
That's what that shit looked like.
Who had the prettiest dick of all the open micers you fucked?
Okay, so this one I can't name. I'll tell you off because he's in a happy relationship now and he doesn't want her knowing.
Oh, fair.
All right, so I'm going to respect him.
Yeah.
But glorious penis.
Okay, I can't wait to hear. You guys have no idea how excited I am to hear about this.
This is the only penis he's happy to hear about today.
Yeah, here's the thing. If you're going to do market research, at least share, you know what I mean? At least share the good reviews.
So let me think. For all open micers total. Just say Hector Garcia.
Really?
Yeah. He's got a nice piece on him.
Did you ever bang?
That's who I was trying not to mention. We're going to have to edit that out.
Absolutely not. No, I'm joking.
He is in a loving relationship with a good woman and they have a You're editing out everything.
Yeah, we got to edit out. In between what we're about to say, you got to edit it out, okay? Because
that guy big time us, right? He didn't want to do one outside.
To be fair, I didn't either.
Yeah, it was that guy.
That was him, dude.
That was that fucking guy.
Okay, well, one, yeah, but also...
First off, I want to say this. I know she's right about it being a beautiful penis.
Oh, the photo went around the entire comedy scene.
It's not bad. He went on the road with me. I took him on the road with me I first started headlining. We did like fucking 12 dates together for the brewery comedy tour. I've seen this man's dick. It is a nice dick. And
I know.
It is.
Stop. I could just edit out his name, but if you're...
Wait.
We can edit out his name. I won't mention his name again.
Okay.
We can edit out the name, bleep it, but...
Yeah, we'll bleep the name.
And we didn't even use his real name. We used his call sign, but it's also fucking...
Just take out the part thing, because that's a big context clue.
Okay.
He's gonna have to take fucking notes over here for this.
I got a funny story about me and him.
Was it? I think I know the story.
You want me to? All right.
Yeah.
So we were doing a show in Louisville, Colorado.
Yeah.
And it was at the Great American Brewery, Great American Eagle Claw Brewery. I'll never fucking forget it.
Jesus Christ.
Owned by Kirsty Horst. We're doing. This is supposed to do 25 minutes. But before the show, this girl comes up, and have you ever seen like a wayward soul?
Yes.
Like somebody that's just kind
I know
of.
what you're talking about.
That somebody's just kind of lost in the ether.
Yeah.
Like it's not really that they're looking to fuck, but they'll fuck.
Yeah.
They'll fuck. They'll eat.
Just whatever goes on.
They're like on a Forrest Gump kind of journey, but they're not running.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Whenever
They're
they
just-
get tired, they're gonna go home.
They sleep, but
Yeah.
whenever they got to shit, they shit. That's just she was that kind of a person, and there was no doubt in my mind that any meaty dick in that building could have penetrated that woman within 15 minutes of conversation. I just want that to be said. Because what he did was not like, he didn't lasso a fucking, a debutante.
Yeah.
He didn't catch a virgin.
Yeah.
He caught a wayward soul.
Yeah.
He's on stage. He's supposed to do 25. He does 16.5. I go up and I'm mad as hell because at this time, I don't have 45. I have 45 and some crowd work,
Yeah.
And now,
Yeah.
because we got a contractual obligation with the comedy tour, we've got to do the full hour and a half show. So the fact that he did 15 minutes means I got to do hour 15.
Yep.
So I get on stage, and it's an extra long set. And it's okay. It's going fine. But I'm looking around, and he's gone. And then I'm looking around for her, and she's gone. And that's 10 minutes into my set. And I don't see them again for the rest of my set. And I'm looking, brother. I'm peeking into that audience. Occasionally, I'm blocking the light out of my eyes.
Yeah, you don't want
just to look around, just
Yeah.
to see.
Yeah.
No sign of them whatsoever. Okay? I get off stage. Keep in mind, we have not been paid for this gig. That is a very important detail.
Yes.
I am looking around for him, and there was both two bathrooms there, and I opened both bathrooms, but I'm opening them like this.
Yeah.
Like to the crack to where only I can see in, so I can tell if they're fucking, and I could like run interference on that.
Yeah.
Because like I said, we have not been paid yet.
Yeah.
So Kirsty takes me upstairs, and she's complimenting, being super kind and sweet, and she goes, Where'd your feature go? And I'm like, I have no idea. I think he might be out in the car. Maybe he wasn't feeling good. Well, upstairs where the office was,
It is that story.
there's a game room. Okay? And in that game room, you can hear a howl and a screech that I can only describe as something David Attenborough could narrate. Here we are with the young vixen getting plowed on an air hockey table. So the door's locked. You can't get into the game room. And
Yeah.
Kirsty was very clear in saying that door has never been closed and never locked since she owned the bar. So needless to say, she knew something was awry. We get up to the top of the steps, and she goes to open the door, and she goes, "Are they fucking in there?" And I panic. And I was like, no, there's no way. There's no way. I mean, they might just be playing a game or something, and it got heated in there or something like that. And then you hear, "Ah!" like that. That was him pulling himself out of her. I could not imagine what it sounded like going in. That was the retrieval of the object. Can you imagine the ascension? It must have plummeted in her in the way a fucking drill bit goes, the way it fracks. I don't know. But I know she made a noise that sounded like a dying rabbit.
Yeah.
And Kirsty is trying to get in, and I am standing on the doorway. She's going to get our check, okay? And I am beating on the door like silently but firmly.
Yeah.
Like just my hand flat, like trying to make the sounds echo, like
Yeah.
wrap it the fuck up. So he comes out sweaty as a dickens. I mean, just a sweaty boy. Just so sweaty. She was flush. And I'm standing in the doorway, and I'm trying to block them with my frame. and they like scurry behind me and go down the steps to the point where Christy doesn't really see them.
Yeah.
Right? But then as soon as they're downstairs, comes right back upstairs. And he's like standing behind me, sweaty as fuck. And she looks at him and she goes, "Did you have a good time?" And he goes, "Yeah, it was a fun show. It was a fun time." And we're walking out that venue, man. I look at him like, really? Really? Like, really? It's like you took your relative to a fine restaurant and they wiped their ass with a salad fork.
Yeah.
That's what happened. He fucked that woman during my set on an air hockey table for a venue that hadn't paid us yet. I have never been madder in my fucking life. I almost fought him. I almost fought him in Mississippi, okay? He has this thing where he likes to eat the nastiest food on the road, Chester's chicken, okay? It is the nastiest shit. It's not even chicken. It's just bread with like 2 strips of meat inside. And he likes to eat that shit, and he likes to conjure the nastiest fucking farts. And I have this thing. I have this weird thing where I don't care if we're dating. I don't care if we're married. I don't care if you're my brother. I don't care if you were willing to die for me in combat. Okay? You do not fart in my direction. That is biological warfare. I didn't ask for that. I don't want that. There's no point where I need to be smelling your fucking feces. Point it that way. We can do this. It's a thing. We don't have to make people marinate in our fucking ass juices. He would be in the fucking car, and he's one of those roll up the windows and fart as far as he fucking can. And I mean, dude, I am like a hamster in a cat cage trying to get out of that goddamn car. Just like prying my way out of there, survival instinct. We're in fucking Alabama at a bar shooting pool, and this fucker's ripping them. And he comes up to me, and I'm bent over. I'm ready to fucking hit this shot. And he comes up, and it's just a nasty, just right in my face, dude. Jesus. And I put down the pool cue and I said, "See me outside." And if there wasn't, it was a long walk outside. If there was 10 fewer steps, I would have murdered him in that parking lot. Luckily, there was 10 steps there where I was able to contemplate what my next action was going to be. And I went from murderous rage to I'm just going to chew him the fuck out and then give him the silent treatment for the next 24 hours. But man,
oh my God,
that dude had a direct line to my pissed off button. And I still love him.
Yeah.
I still love him. Would do anything for him. But man, nobody's ever made me madder.
The story you told about like Christy in the game room and shit.
Yeah.
So he did tell me, like, it's all like, I knew I fucked up. Like, he was telling me about it. But he's like, ask Carden, it's like, are you mad? And he said, I'm not happy. And that made me, like, when he told me that, I just fucking died laughing because he told me the story. Because he's like, well, yeah, because, like, the Cliff Notes is like, yeah, it's like, well, there was this girl, and then, like, we go upstairs and we're fucking, and I hear, like, John running interference for us. And then, like, I hear, like, a knock. It's like, oh.
Hey, I'm a good friend.
You're a good friend.
Yeah.
I'm a good fucking friend.
You're a good man, dude.
Dude.
I will tell you, like, one time I did have, like, we were sharing beds. It was a McDonald's thing, but we were all drunken at the same house. But, like, I moved and, like, my friend who was super depressed finally got laid, but they thought I was asleep. So they started fucking in the mattress that I'm on next to me. I just pretended to be asleep the whole time. Because he needed a win.
Yeah.
He really fucking needed a win.
I've had those friends.
There wasn't even another bed?
There was 2 beds. There were 3 people in one bed and then 3 in the other. And then one dude sitting on the floor because he was too long for the bed. Like, he was like 6'7" or some shit like that. Like, something crazy. He was like 6'5" or like, but
big dude.
Yeah.
Matt Weir?
No, this wasn't a comedy thing. This is way back when I worked at McDonald's and we all went to the parks because there's nothing to drink in Tucson, Tucson, however the fuck you say it, Arizona, which is the town outside the Grand Canyon, and then you go into the park, and they have the cabins and shit. But we happened to be in the cabins, and yeah, we were all drinking that night. It's like, yeah, we're not driving back tonight. And oh god, I have stories about that shit, that fucking shithole. Like, no, it's a beautiful place, but like, happy people don't live there. They really don't. But yeah, no. So they ended up fucking and everything. But also, JP did give me the signal that our time's about up. So John, is there anything you want to promote, or you got anything coming up in February?
I mean, I'm doing a Instagram show with Brandon Lejean called Technically Foul, sports show. We moved it from a podcast just to want to clip it, just doing clips now for social media. But yeah, I'm doing that, Technically Foul. I think I've got some stuff coming up, but we'll see.
Fair.
I don't even.
What's your Instagram?
Instagram? Yeah. Oh, it's going to the Jon, Jon.
Yeah, no H. I remember the first time I saw it too. I'm like, fuck yeah, that's awesome. And Eric, do you have anything for February?
Check out the Instagram, Eric Biggs Comedy on Instagram. Dead Bod Comedy Tour, we're probably going to have a couple dates in February, but I don't know what the fuck they are yet. So check out Birthday Boys. Weekly episodes come out Mondays. Same channel that, of course, you'll find this amazing podcast on every month. Celia, what you got?
So my biggest thing in February is I will be launching the first flirt battles ever. Woo! So instead of roast, come to Creek in the Keg February 13th, 10 p.m. Tickets are on sale now. And instead of roast, they're throwing pickup lines at each other. We've got like a couple, we have a guy and girl matchup, and the rest are just straight guys hitting on each other. So it's sure to be a good time.
Love that.
So if you're looking for something to do.
Well, this was fun.
All right.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate
you.
y'all.
Thank you so much for coming on.
All right.